Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.
All right, welcome to the Renegade Rundown with your host Shay, my fellow host Mr. Kenny. Once again, we're back on an incredible Tuesday. Kenny, how are you doing?
I am excited about today. I'm happy that we're here, man. Got a lot to discuss, man. A big interview, man, that we're gonna get into today. So I'm just excited, man. Just real excited.
Yeah, so we could start with new hire Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Mike McCarthy was a special guest on a very popular podcast show called The Pat McAfee Show. And ironically, Pat McAfee is a fellow Yinzer just like you and I.
Yeah,
And he was interested basically in Mike McCarthy's plans, just like the rest of us, now that he is the head coach. What will be the mentality headed into the draft to 2026 NFL season, taking over from a legendary head coach, Mike Tomlin, pretty much picking up where he left off, or things like that. And it was just a real interesting interview in my opinion, because
hmm
first of all, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see Mike McCarthy being so outspoken like he was. He really wasn't that in the past, so it's
yeah,
cool to see a new side of him that we're not familiar with in a good way. But there are some things that, like we already disclosed off the scene, that we're not so happy with. And that is, one of them is, once again, we're playing the waiting show with quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who is currently a free agent. And I'm still trying to process why. If you are the guy who is known to develop young QBs and you got one on the bench who is currently a national champion quarterback, then I'm not understanding why are we waiting on somebody and playing a game called Kiss Ass.
yeah. Your guess is as good as mine. That was the one. That was the one thing I went to go look at. I watched the whole interview because it was a pretty long interview. So they were talking about various topics, and this was the one I was most just wanted to hear what he's thinking. Um, and I heard exactly what I figured I was going to hear. A lot of placating, a lot of tiptoeing around, like they tiptoe around Aaron Rodgers, like this is MVP Aaron Rodgers. I'm like, why are y'all tiptoeing?
Like he's God.
Um,
Like
yeah,
he's God.
he's
And that's the
God.
thing. I can't stand that, because this is just a bunch of BS right here. Like, what are you doing? It's either you want to play or you not. They
No, you
already
not.
upgraded the roster from last year, and the draft ain't even here, and yet you're still
Yes,
undecided whether you want to play or not. So is this really about football, or is this about
control.
you questioning your, yeah, basically controlling, you questioning your value and things like that? Because here's the deal. Any quarterback would have signed up by now. You got Joe Flacco out here calling people stupid for not looking at him. And even though I agree with the Steelers for not looking that direction, especially because of what I seen before Joe Burrow returned, which, while I was impressed to a certain extent there,
hmm
um, I'm just glad that, even if I was a Bengals fan, I'd just be glad that Joe Burrow did return eventually in the season, because it's only much of that show right there was going to get worse. And I think the matchup versus the Steelers last year was pretty much everyone pulling off the Joe Flacco train. Hence the reason why he wasn't signed. But then you got Aaron Rodgers, four turnovers in a playoff game, and you couldn't capitalize on none of them. And then we're talking about trading away players who are responsible for that and who practically put you in the predicament to win you the game, and yet this guy practically cost you it. And
Yeah,
I'm just not understanding, like, your immobility, because yeah, sometimes the pockets were collapsing, but at the same time, the purpose of having a mobile quarterback, or having a quarterback, period, now in today's league, is so that they can move to prevent sacks from keep occurring. But all he's done that playoff game, and I'm not over that. That was arguably the most embarrassing performance by a Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback in the past 30 years in a postseason game.
correct.
Like, we can name you another Steeler quarterback who can have four times to score or come up with points. And it ain't even the fact that you couldn't score, it's the fact you couldn't come up with points. Like,
Yeah,
okay, we had 9 points before garbage time came into play. And that was by Chris Boswell, your kicker. And people talking about, oh, well, we shouldn't pay him what we want. Yes, we would. Yes, we should. And this
yes,
is why. Because if it wasn't for him, you practically would have been shut out that playoff game. Like, let's not act like you ain't get dominated. The better quarterback was not on the Steelers that game, and the other quarterback had 4 turnovers.
he was
Make it
trash.
make sense. And this is the behind that we're all, taking our precious time, or not we as in the rest of them. Um, it's just taking turns kissing. It just doesn't make sense to me. First of all, you're gonna have to get younger. When is that gonna be? How many more bandages are you gonna put on the problem until you realize the bleeding doesn't stop until surgery is done?
Yeah, and that's the question. I mean, how long we gonna wait? How many band-aids do we got? It seems like they got an unlimited supply of band-aids at the Pittsburgh headquarters because that's all we're doing right now. It's
Right.
band-aiding, it's band-aiding and band-aiding. Y'all not even taking chances to see whether this young guy got it or not. I
Yeah.
mean, my thing is this: the way McCarthy sounded in the interview, it sounded like he's saying Will Howard could learn some things from Aaron Rodgers, man. I think he needs to, but he sat behind him all last year. What he
Yeah.
learn from how to lose a playoff game,
How to be
how to
embarrassed even off
how to
of
be
four
embarrassed.
turnovers.
Yes,
It's just slap in the
it's
face, to be
stupid.
honest with you.
It's just dumb. It just don't make sense to me. What is the holdup? The next year's draft class is so deep.
In the
You better
quarterback
make
position.
at quarterback. You better make sure that you got one on your roster. That's why this year is such an important year. You
It
have to make
is.
sure that you got a QB on your roster. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, it's a firestorm if you don't have a QB, and then you let that draft class pass. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the Steelers we fell victim to this back in the day with Dan Marino when we should have drafted Dan Marino, but we so focused and hung up on Terry Bradshaw because of what he done in the past that we were loyal to a
Right.
fool. So we why can't we learn from that? We've seen the game tapes. Why was it so long between Ben and Terry Bradshaw? People don't realize how many years was in between those times.
That was over 30 years.
That's what I'm saying. So you
Like,
telling me y'all didn't learn anything from that transaction? You
and
should have
then,
learned. You should have learned that you can't wait on the quarterback position.
right.
The longer you wait, the longer you band-aid, the longer you do all this, the less time you're gonna have to really be able to put your imprint on the game, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm tired of the wild card losses. I'm tired of it.
I'm
I'm ready
tired of
for
the
something
losses,
different.
period.
Yeah, I'm ready for something different. I'm ready for something different. I'm tired of us tiptoeing around and acting like we're not the Steelers. Man,
Yeah.
when are you gonna get back to that? We used to instill fear in teams. They laugh at us. They
Now,
laugh at us now. They're
but
not
this is
worried about
why.
the Steelers.
I mean, this
Yeah,
is why, though. You got to think about it. If you were not a Steeler fan and you're not a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers in any way, shape, or form, wouldn't you be laughing? Because this is funny. A team
yeah.
that we once idolized, a team that we once looked up to, a team that we once feared, is now turning into this right in front of our eyes. And
Mhm.
out of all organizations, when we think of the greatest organizations in NFL history, right? No one would ever predict it, especially what we saw in the 2000s, that the Pittsburgh Steelers, out of all people, will be in the predicament where they are right now. And the fact that this is happening right in front of us it's a disgrace. If we're
It
gonna
really
be
is.
transparent here,
It
it's
really
a
is.
total disgrace because it's like I just can't. This is BSing around.
Yeah,
It's definitely BSing around because first of all, you don't got the time for this, nor
no,
the patience. I mean, you've been more than patient with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had since January of this year to make a decision.
correct.
January. You've seen
Correct.
all these moves. First of all, as much of a great player as Kenneth Gainwell is, Rico Dwaddle is a better running back. You
Mm-hmm.
got that now behind Jalen Warren. Okay? Then let's
Mm-hmm.
look at the offensive line. Then let's look at the defense. Already you upgraded in the secondary.
Correct.
Already. And the draft is not even here, like we said. Then in the wide receiving position, look at the wide receiving core last year. Even though I felt Calvin Austin could have had a bigger role and a better role, and I'm glad that he's getting a new opportunity with the New York Giants. I wanted him to be here bad. I wanted him to be here with Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf and see how DK Metcalf can redeem himself and can Calvin Austin as the wide receiver number three, which he would have been if he was here,
Mm-hmm.
can capitalize and be played in the way that he should. Now the jury's out, and we're gonna have to see about that when we look at New York, New Jersey Giants, whatever, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying New York, New Jersey Giants before y'all come at me, because yes, they're New York, but they play in MetLife, which is in New Jersey. Okay, but back to what I was saying about the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. You already have a better team than what you had coming into 2025. You cannot. It's real selfish of him to be taking up all this time, and everybody else on your team is ready to go. They all cannot wait for the season to come back, and then here you is hawking it up.
Yeah.
I think what it is that they're going to draft accordingly to what the quarterback position is or what the quarterback situation is in Pittsburgh. And Aaron Rodgers is holding the team hostage, one, by not making a decision, and two, not making the right one. It's time for him to retire. Let me be all the way transparent. It is time for Aaron Rodgers to retire. I
Yeah.
get people say that they still don't got him, but guess what? If Ben Roethlisberger wasn't good enough to return in 2021 after a 33 for 10 season coming off a catastrophic elbow surgery in 2020, then Aaron Rodgers is not good enough after a 27 and 7 season. Plain and simple as that. And he had a way better wide receiving core and better offensive system and better overall team than what Ben Roethlisberger had.
Correct.
Yes, yeah, yes. One had Minka Fitzpatrick in the secondary. The other one got Jalen Ramsey. Practically identical when you think about skill wise. Only two players in the past 10 years, represented the AFC conference and has, correct me, at least three Pro Bowls and three All Pros. First
Mm-hmm.
team All Pros. That's Minka Fitzpatrick and that's Jalen Ramsey. This is unescapable fact. So you know what that means on paper? They're practically the same person. Now, flip the script here to the quarterback position, back to the bases. You both had TJ Watt. You both had Cameron Hayward. But
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Did Ben Roethlisberger have a Patrick Queen? No. Did he have a Peyton Wilson? No. Back then it was TJ Watt in 3 and 4 on 1 handicap matches. Now they can't do that anymore because of the Nick Herbigs, because of the Alex Highsmiths and the rise of him. So you got to think about all these things. And then look at the secondary. There's not one cornerback we have had in the past 10 years that's been better than Joey Porter Jr.
No.
None. And we had Joe Hayden.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that. Who had the better team? And 33 for 10 coming off the elbow surgery. Come on now. Let's think about that. And then let's talk about the fact that that was when your wide receiving core, Ben Roethlisberger's wide receiving core in 2020 and 2021, had the most drops of every single wide receiving core in the league. They were
Terrible.
number one in drops. They,
Yes.
they, they couldn't get open. And yet, his last days, he went 55 for 20 with over 7,000 passing yards in an offense that was coached by Randy Fitchner and Matt Canada. Who
Terrible.
would you take either one of them over Arthur Smith? No,
Heck
you
no.
would not. And I get Arthur Smith was not the best quarterback. I mean the best offensive coordinator.
Mm.
I understand that. Before you guys come for me, I get it. But he was better than what you had the last 2 years with Ben. We're not going to argue that.
Correct.
And the chains were moving a lot better. And it wasn't just because the quarterback play, it was because the overall offensive play that wasn't good enough. Obviously, that's why you were back in this predicament again. But you got to think about all of that. Which team are you taking if you were heading into a season? The 2020 and 2021 Pittsburgh Steelers or the 2025 or 2026 Steelers? On paper, which team would you take to go in the war into to go to war with you in a 16-17 game stretch? Which team?
It got to be this one that we got now, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. This team we got
So
now, you could just see it. You just see it on paper. Like if we get the right pieces and the right people involved, man, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I wanted to hear this interview, because I also wanted to hear a lot about offensively. How are we getting the guys that was left in the shuffle last year? How do we get them back in the fold? Which is Pat Frymuth and Roman Wilson, because these are two guys that were forgotten. We drafted Roman Wilson in the 3rd round, so he has to get some value out of this. Pat was one of the top 10 tight end in the league before Arthur Smith. Like, how we get him back involved in the offense like we had him in the offense when Ben was there. He was such a clutch player. Like, I mean, when we had Russell Wilson, he was clutch for Russell. Even in games this year where they got him the ball against Cincinnati, he was clutching for Aaron Rodgers.
And I think that was the moment I felt he would have gotten the ball.
Yes, and I said that. I'm like, yo, do you know we got Pat Frymuth on this field? Do we understand that we have mismatches with him on this field? And I did not understand what was going on. But this was one of the bright spots of the interview. I will give him credit for. He did talk about Roman Wilson and how he is going to get them more involved, because he says it's a fresh start, fresh system, and these guys are key contributors. So we got to get them involved. I think that right there kind of puts me at ease with the situation, but I need to see it on the field. I need to see schematically how we're going to involve these guys, because Roman Wilson can be a big player. We forget about Roman Wilson, what he was at Michigan. He was the number 1 receiver in separation at Michigan for a reason. It was a reason why he was getting away from guys, because he was schemed open. He was like, I just remember watching him at Michigan. I'm like, whoever get this kid is going to get somebody who's a route runner, who's efficient in the slot, and can run away from defenders. And so we have to get back to the basics. We got our 2 big body receivers on the outside. Roman Wilson has to be the slot. That's perfect. If you run schematics for him, he can be your guy in the slot, but you got to involve him. Darnell Washington must be involved. I heard that he's losing weight, actually, which is a great thing. Lets me know that, you're going to start using him even more in the passing game.
In the
case, we finna get Darnell, and then we got Pat already. Pat's a dog. So all these weapons, you telling me, Aaron Rodgers, you can't make your damn mind up? Like, this is what's pissing me off. Either make your mind up, you coming back, or you're gone. I want you gone, if you're asking me personally. But if you're going to come back, stop trying to hold people hostage at your mercy. That I hate that thought process of somebody holding the Steelers at their mercy. When has this ever happened in the history? We got
never had these privileges.
We got rid of Hines Ward. I can go down the list. We got rid of Hall of Fame guys.
Never had this.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, we have gotten rid of Hall of Fame guys. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have told Hall of Famers, hey, I'm sorry, man. We're not bringing you back.
Super Bowl champion.
Yes.
Let me
Super Bowl champions,
that.
1 rings. And we have told them, we're not bringing you back, bro. You can go ahead and leave. Why can't we do that with Aaron Rodgers? Who the hell is he? I'm sorry, I'm passionate about this, but who is he? Who is he? He hasn't done nothing for our organization. You know what he did? He did exactly what Russell
Wilson did last year. For me lately, league.
Yes.
What has he done?
He literally done what Russell Wilson did last year. Got us to the playoffs and get embarrassed. That's it. That's all you've done. We've gotten embarrassed when we get to that point, and you didn't change that, man. You didn't do anything to change that. So what are we sitting around here acting like, oh yeah, we could just wait on this guy, man. He's this and he's that. No, he's not. He used to be. He used to be. So we gotta put our big boy pants on to come on. And and this is the problem with this. This is all ownership. I blame
Art
that
Rooney.
guy up top. Yep. Because Dan would have never.
He would have ripped the bandage off a long time ago.
Ben ripped that bandage off. He'd have been said, yo, you know what? He gotta go. What are we still holding on to him for? What has he done that is so special that we can't get out of this kid here with this roster that we built? Because it ain't like Will Howard coming in the garbage. He has weapons.
Right, and then here's the deal, and it's not just we're not saying Will Howard is better than Aaron Rodgers overall.
No,
We're saying that he's the better option. One, he's younger. Two, he's more mobile. And three, the only thing you need at this point is your quarterback to be a game manager.
that's
Plain and
it.
simple as that. You know your defense is gonna hold. Just don't turn the ball over, score when needed and when wanted, and go from there. If the Steelers should do that, and I understand it's easier said than done, I get it. But long story short, man, we should not be less than a month away from the draft still trying to figure out who our quarterback is, and we got one who's on the roster and wants to play. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. He's playing in your face. He's just taking his precious time. I've had enough of that. Like seriously, it's either you gonna get right or get the step in. It's really that simple.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Like Cam Hayward said, you want to play or you don't. It's just simple. It's not when it's not like we ain't got to tiptoe around. Cam Hayward made a firm decision. Yeah, I'm playing next year already. He already told
Right.
us. TJ Watt said, I don't want to be traded. I want to be in Pittsburgh. So we getting commitment from everybody else. We can't get buy-in from this guy. We can't get
The
buy-in from
guy who laid the egg in a
yeah,
game they played their asses off,
yes.
and I
Who
was
really
at
need to
that
be
game.
begging us for a job, to be honest with you. If we were being real with ourselves, he need to be begging us for employment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he need to be begging us for employment because that mess that you put on that field on that Monday,
Was a
yeah, no,
disgrace
no, no,
to
no, no.
every single postseason performance by a Steeler quarterback I've seen in my life as a fan. And let me
Oh yeah,
remind
no.
you, I watched Mason Rudolph versus the Buffalo Bills,
And he played better than him.
and he
Mason
played
played
like
better
crap.
than him. Man, you like Mason played better than Aaron in the play. Like that's how bad this performance was. And so for us to sit up here and act like it ended on a great note is the most ridiculous, asinine thing I think I've ever heard because it didn't end on a great note. It ended on a bad note. It ended with our coach saying, I don't want to do this no more. I'm cool. I'm going to go ahead and go be a family man now. I don't even want to be in Pittsburgh no more. So all of that crap, trust me, because if we win that playoff game, you best believe Mike Tomlin is still our coach today.
Right.
You best believe it. There's no doubt in my mind that he's our coach. Because at the end of the day, it's one of those who's like, man, he felt like he was holding everybody back. Oh, but you don't even realize it's not you. It's your upstairs folks holding you back. They ain't gave you a damn quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. They've been just giving you little scraps and saying, go make magic, Tomlin. Go make magic. Go do this. Go do that. And then he tried. But you telling me you giving me Band-Aid pieces and you want me to go out there and perform heart surgery with Band-Aids. No tools. You're not giving me anything. You're not giving me what I really actually need, which is a franchise guy I can hook my haul to and keep it pushing. But you're not giving me what I need. So stop with the everybody cracks me up with this thing like Mike Tomlin just had this fair shake as the coach. He didn't have the fair shake. He had to deal with AB's mess. He had to deal with Le'Veon being late for practice and getting drugged and thrown out. He had to deal with Ben's up and downness as far as as far as maturity level and everything like that. He had to deal with a lot of stuff and he kept it in house. But now these days, through social media and everything like that, it's hard to keep everything in house. And so he's
Especially
adjusted.
with players who like to put on shows for the keyboards and
Correct.
all those that sit behind there.
Correct. And so we have to stop with this narrative that everybody's trying to paint that like it was just a fair thing and any coach could have took that team and did what Tomlin did. That's a lie and a half. There's coaches that when their quarterback goes down, they go over. I watch Belichick, trust me. I watch Andy Reid, trust me. I watch the top coach Sean Payton, trust. I've seen all coaches have a fall off. Mike Tomlin never had a fall off without a quarterback. He kept it steady. He kept it steady. But you know what happens when you get to the playoffs? You need that guy. And they never provided that guy for him. And now we have an opportunity where we can reset the market. We can reset everything. This fool's asked for $30 million and we're sitting up here playing with him. What the hell is going on? $30 million? Who are you?
That part.
30? Are you kidding me?
I'm not paying $30 million to watch what I watched in January.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
watch a damn goose egg. Like, what are we doing? $30 million. That's what I'm saying. We watched the goose egg hatch right on the field, and you telling me that's worth 30 M's? Steelers, what are we doing? Move on. When he said 30, I'd say, you know what, Aaron? Enjoy your retirement or enjoy whatever team you're gonna go to. Because it's like, are
It
you
won't be a
out,
contender.
yeah, are
It
you
won't be
holding
a
out for another
contender.
team, Aaron? Are you trying to see what's happening with the Cardinals? Because it seemed like that's the only job that popped into my mind as I'm sitting here thinking about it. Are you waiting for another team? And
Let them
matter of
wait.
fact, we got a
Roll
comment
the
in the
dice with
comment
Will
section.
Howard. Let them wait.
Yeah, we had a comment in the comment section talking about from Jay Al saying right here, literally saying, I feel like y'all waiting on Rodgers, he waiting on a better team. Everybody know it. Like, we ain't the only ones that know this. It seemed like he waiting on some opportunity to open up. When the Vikings opportunity closed, he knew that was it. He waited on that. Then the Cardinals opportunity is the only opportunity that you can really see. Okay, maybe they'll go that route. It's like the Cardinals is like, nah, bro, we actually really good. We're trying to tank. We're waiting for 2027. And so Aaron don't have a choice. He don't have really too many choices, but we're sitting up here like, let's just sit here like this. Let's just sit here like this and just wait on him. He's the greatest of all time. Let's just wait. Forget Brady, forget Peyton, forget all those guys. This guy's the greatest. Let's just wait. That's how we're acting. We're acting like he's one of those. He ain't been one of those guys in years. So like I get frustrated with this. And Mike McCarthy is like, I like you as a coach. Don't piss me off with that. Don't piss
Not
me off
you.
with that because I'm trying to give you a chance. As a,
Rooney, Khan, them
yeah,
too.
yes, I'm not letting y'all off the hook either because to me, y'all are the head of the snake, all of y'all. So I need everybody to be in alignment. You see this roster. You see what we potentially got on this damn team. Give this team a chance. Don't cap us off. And Aaron Rodgers is
You
always
can't
going to be
afford
a cap.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, are you talking about AR or are you referring to the entire league? Because if you turn, first of all, neither one of them can afford to. First of all, Aaron
Yes.
Rodgers, everyone's seen your performance last year. It was horrific in the playoffs. Nobody wants that to be the fate of their team. That's one. And then as for the rest of the league, you can't afford to because you're not that much better. Unless you are the Eagles, unless you are the Chiefs, unless you are the Bills, unless you are who else we missing here? The Broncos possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
I
got to.
would mention the Patriots, but how far would you have gotten if Bo Nix would have not got hurt? And I
Hello.
mean, it's only much I want to say about them because they did do what we couldn't do, even though CJ Straw crapped the bed worse against us than he did against them, which is
Yeah.
the crazy thing. And
They
it's
just couldn't
like
score.
and that's what's the sad thing. Drake May played better off of CJ Straw's crappy performance than Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers had more opportunities, okay? But you
Yes.
don't hear Patriot fans talking about trade this player, trade that player. If anything, they're calling for the players who went to the Super Bowl and played like crap,
Yep.
or who's been pretty much garbage to mediocre the entire season. Fair, fair criticism. But
Yes.
at the same time, we're throwing hate at a defense who practically carried this team to the freaking playoffs last year. We're
Correct.
throwing hate on a defense that pretty much had the game for us. The only thing you had to do was score. 3 out of 4 of your turnovers, you was in the Texans end zone.
I just don't get it.
2 out of 3 of them, you came up empty-handed. And for some reason, we're kissing the behind of a guy who led his team to do that. Really,
Yep. And that's our organization problem. That's upstairs, man.
Ben
That's
never got those privileges.
yeah. Never.
Porter
No.
Stewart never got those privileges. Tommy Maddox never got those privileges. And before anybody come up in my mentions or come up in the comment section talking about some, well, Aaron Rodgers better than all of them, not in the moments that matter most.
Nope. They all the same.
That's
Unless you
why
win.
we're here. You
Unless
ain't
you
turning the
win.
ball over 4 times or 3 times or more against a Roethlisberger-led team, especially in Acrisure or Heinz Field, and you
No.
coming out with the win.
Never. That would never
Even the
happen.
worst version of Ben would have won that game, and that's what pissed a lot of us millennials and Gen Zs off. We know if we would have had number 7 out there instead of number 12, we would have won that game. The Steelers had zero business losing that game against the Texans.
Yep.
We should have been in Foxborough for a rematch, or we should have been on the road in Mile High. We had no business going one and done. And yes, I understand the blame for Tomlin, but you know what? It's just certain things that is just not coachable,
You can't control that.
uncoachable.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers' performance is uncoachable unless you was gonna pull him out and put Will Howard in. It was uncoachable. It was just uncoachable like that, and he should not be coaching a quarterback who's at the rate that Aaron Rodgers was in his career. He should not be. You know what to do already. You've been here how many times? That's why they bought you here. Okay, that's why they bought you here. And you defeated the total purpose of signing the Hughes and signing the Russell Wilsons. We was just better off with the Justin Fields and the Will Howards. At least we would have a quarterback possibly for the future or be in a better predicament to get one. It's no in between. And that's what I mean by Will Howard. And everybody like, oh, he's a 6th-round quarterback. He's this, he's that. Who cares? I'm not saying he's going to be the guy. I'm saying he's either going to be the guy or he's going to put you in a predicament to be the guy. I'm not saying it's guaranteed that he's going to be the guy, but hell, give him the shot. Especially when, unlike this guy, he wants to play. And Will Howard cannot perform worse than Aaron Rodgers did in that playoff game. That's
No,
how atrocious it was.
no, it was an embarrassment. So that's my thing. Like, you got a guy that wants to play against a guy who's debating whether he wants to come back.
Go
What do you
home.
do? If you're debating whether you want to play, just go home now at this point. Because
Go
at the
home.
end of the day,
Hit
it
the
just
bricks.
doesn't make sense. Yes, it doesn't make sense. If you got to question whether you want to play football, then they already said anytime you got to make that question in your brain, you're retired already. You might as well leave the game because ain't nothing else to do out there but get injured at this point. You see him
Yeah,
last year; he was made of paper mache. I mean, broke his wrist, was just jacked up and everything like that. I'm like, dude, you beat the hell right now. And so it's one of those things where it's like, dude, I think that if we would just stop being so scary. Stop being scary because we could have a down year. Don't be worried about that. It happens. You know what'll happen if we have a down year? We'll be right back in it next year.
that part.
We'll be right back in it next
And
year.
isn't that what Steelers fans, isn't that what some of the majority of them wanted?
They've been
Us to have a
screaming it.
down year,
They've
saying
been
that the
screaming it.
Steelers need a losing record season. Well, guess what? Here's your opportunity. The
Here's your
Steelers need a
opportunity.
quarterback. The Steelers need a losing record season. Roll the dice with Will Howard and let's see which one we get.
Yep. And that's why you do play Will Howard. That's why you play Will Howard
He's
because
either gonna be the guy or he's gonna put you in a
yeah,
predicament to be the guy.
yes,
To
either
find the
he's gonna hit a
guy.
home run, either he gonna hit a home run, or he gonna get us on first base. It's
That part.
regardless. Either he gonna hit a home run or he gonna get on first base because
He's either going to be the guy or he's gonna put you in this. He's gonna put you in position to get your guy. There's
yes,
no in between.
none.
None.
There's no in between, and that's where I think the Steelers are not looking at the bigger picture from that standpoint. You're looking at they keep going year to year. They're not looking years down the road. They're doing year to year moves, and it's one of those things where it's like, no, you need to commit. You need to commit to somebody. You need to see it through. You need to see what it is. Stop being scary. There's no reason for Will Howard to sit behind Aaron another year. That does nothing for him. It
It
literally
does
does
nothing for
nothing for him.
you as a team. Yes,
Yes,
you're tired of just competing. You're tired of just 500 record seasons and going one and done in the playoffs. You're tired of figuring out who your quarterback is for the future
every
and who your
year.
quarterback's going to be heading into every season. Well, guess what? Roll the dice with Will Howard. You're either going to get one or you're going to get the other. I am so tired of saying this.
Yes,
I could
and
say this till I'm blue in the face, and then you will have Steeler fans. Oh, well, Will Howard sucks. First of all, how we know he sucks?
we don't
Because
know.
I'm a Buckeye fan, and I seen his tape at Ohio State.
Yeah, we don't know nothing, and that's what people not understanding. We know nothing about him yet on a NFL football field, so we can't make a judgment either way. Y'all can say, oh, well, maybe the team is seeing something. They haven't seen nothing. He was injured damn near all year last year. So we have to
Right.
stop with this. Well, maybe no, 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 no. The Steelers are being scared and they love band-aids right now. And so what they're doing is they're trying to hold up from the inevitable. The inevitable is that the fact that y'all, we're gonna have to pick a quarterback, and it's not gonna be an older guy. So who you going with? And that's the question that you have to ask yourself. How long are we gonna keep on band-aiding this? How long? Because at
Right.
the end of the day, band-aiding this situation literally does nothing for us at all.
It
And
doesn't.
I'm just wondering, how do you feel about McCarthy after the interview now? After you've seen the interview and you done heard all the stuff that he said and everything that came out, how do you feel about McCarthy leading us basically into the next couple of years? Because he is 62.
So I just feel like he just need to stop kissing ass and
Gotcha.
pull the trigger. I
Gotcha.
feel like he has the right intentions with this team. He's just not making the right moves right now or
Mhm,
having the right mentality accordingly.
mhm,
And the thing is, listen, sometimes good things have to come to an end. There's
mhm.
a reason why you and Aaron Rodgers went your ways after your days in Green Bay. You went your separate
Yes.
ways. You know what I mean? And while, yes, you didn't do the best with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys, but here's a fun fact: the Cowboys has not been to the playoffs since you. So that speaks volumes, doesn't it? And then
Yes.
on top of that, they've only won one playoff game, without you ever since Tony Romo. So that also says a lot. So it's like now that you're here in an organization that cannot be said about much besides the past 10 years. It is now time to show everyone who you are. You have a quarterback who can give you that opportunity, who either going to put you in a predicament to have your guy or put you in a predicament where you can find your guy. And the thing is, Mike McCarthy, is that he just doesn't see that picture well enough right now. Will Howard needs to sit another year. No, Will Howard needs at least a year. He needs a year to get his bloodstreams. He needs a year to get loose, to get his feet wet, to show the league what he can do or what his capabilities is. So when you see all of that and you're just sitting here hearing Mike McCarthy basically riding an Aaron Rodgers train for what? Sometimes things in the past are better left in the past.
Correct. Correct. Listen, I don't understand why he doesn't understand that. Aaron is the reason why you got fired, right? Last time you were with a team, last time you were with an organization, and you had Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, he was the reason you got fired.
Yeah.
Relationship
Him
wasn't
and
the
Robert
greatest.
Saleh.
Yes. And that relationship wasn't the greatest in the world. Why put yourself back in deja vu if you don't have to? You don't have to. You don't have to go this route. Am I more confident in the Steelers after this interview? No. No, because I still don't have my answers that I need. The main answer is who the hell is the quarterback? That's not been answered yet. We're literally under a month away from the draft. I'm making preparations. You're making preparations to be at this draft or live stream or whatever you're going to do for this draft. You're getting
I
all
mean,
your
look at
eggs in the basket.
I mean,
And,
look at it this way,
uh,
right? Mason Rudolph showed some progress after sitting behind Ben.
correct.
Jordan Love shown that he's that guy after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy sitting on the bench who's practically been coached up personally and professionally by the both of them.
Yes.
And at this point, this is the first time in like years you on paper is playing with house money. No
Yeah.
one is coming into the season saying the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl realistically. Now, we know we got some idiots in this fan base who really believe that. We both know the right answer to that. New coaching staff, we understand it's going to be rocky a couple of
Yeah.
weeks.
Just
We
yeah.
understand that. But we also understand that we're going to be a 500 or better team like we always are, even though we don't have Mike T in the building no more. But the thing is about this is that the Steelers, here's how I'm looking at it, right? You got a guy who pretty much been coached up by both professionally and personally and professionally. So why not roll the dice with that dude and see what you got? Because you might not even need to draft a quarterback. The next time you pick a quarterback, might be for depth reasons. People want to talk about Will Howard is a 6th round quarterback. He's also a national champion QB who came out of a weak quarterback class. Now let me sit on this and think about it for a second. Didn't Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, come the 7th round? Wasn't he the last overall pick? Can you tell me what college Brock Purdy came from? But you want to know what they did? They built an offensive system. You had a coach that's well known to develop quarterbacks, and Kyle Shanahan. You
Yeah.
also had a great offensive coordinator. You put great weapons around him. You put a defense offensive line. You gave him a great running game, and you saw what he can do. No, Jalen Warren nor Rico Dwaddle is as good as Christian McCaffrey. I understand that. Pat Fryermuth, even though to me he's one of the best in the league, he's not as good as George Kittle. But the bottom line, he doesn't really need to be right now. We need Move to just be Move. We need Jalen to just be Jalen. Both Ramsey and Warren. We need Rico to be Rico. And we just need to go with the flow of that. We know the offensive line is only going to get better. And to me, upgraded at the coaching position already with the new hires. So, with all of that being said, roll the dice with the young pup because the only thing you would need him to be on paper is a game manager, especially if you do what people like I's been advising you to do, which is go wide receiver the 1st round because you need that more than you need any position.
And that's the thing that I heard also from the interview, that it sounds like we're dead set on getting a receiver in the 1st round.
We should be.
I kind of got the sense of that, like, okay, we need to go get us a guy. We got to go get us a guy. And the one guy that I'm starting to see rise up draft boards that I seen was the kid from Arizona State, Jordan Tyson. I've been hearing it, and I went back and I looked at some film from him. The kid's really good. He is really, really good. And I can see him
Yes.
in our offense. And I can see him flourishing in our offense. But we got to stop being scary at quarterback. You got to get him somebody that's going to get him the ball. And that's not going to. Are we forgetting that our offense was like first in the league in like screens and behind the line of scrimmage passes and all that? Dog, this is the NFL. You're going to have to be pushing that ball down the field. Will Howard has no limitations with doing that.
He
We're
has no
limited with
problem.
Aaron. Yes, we're limited with Aaron. I'm sorry. We can say that we're not, but we are limited with Aaron as
The
far as
camera don't lie, neither does the ball.
yes, and that's my thing. That's my thing. I think what's going to end up happening is I think we're going to go a receiver in the 1st round. It sounds like, but it's not just that. I just think that QB is just such an important position that you should have it figured out before the draft happens. I'm just not understanding. Aaron, I ain't got nothing to say to you. It should be up to the Steelers whether you come
It
back.
was a great career. You're
Yeah,
one of the all-time greats, but it's
correct,
time.
correct. Go
Plain and
live a great
simple.
life, man. Go have fun with your wife and everything like that, and do the family thing, man. But football is just not there. I just don't want it. I don't want it to be here in Pittsburgh. If you go somewhere else, I don't care. That's their problem. But I just
Anywhere
don't
but
want him
here.
I don't want him in our vicinity. I just don't want it. I just don't want it.
Anywhere but here, please.
Correct. Correct. Shout out to everybody in the comment section, man. We really appreciate y'all, man. Got my guy, the the Oracle in the comment section showing love, man, and everything like that. Got Jay Howe in the comment section. I'm saying that we need a slot receiver. They think it's gonna be Makai Lennon, the other guy from USC that I was talking about. Um,
Yeah, listen,
like
I'll take
him too.
him. I'll take him over Roman Wilson right now. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
that's
say.
what I'm saying. So I want to see what that's going to look like. So to me, we already locked down at the outsides. Now it's just getting that slot together, and then just building depth because it's one of those things where even if you just got Roman Wilson for the depth purposes, that's fine to me. That's okay to me. I'm not mad at that. To me, we need to go get a guy though. You got to go get a guy just in case injuries happen or you need a dog. You end up finding you a dog at one of these guys. Because if that's the case, then all bets are off on who's going to be the number one. So that's one of the questions too. Like, do you want DK to be your one or your two? Is he better suited for your one or your two? And so maybe we pop and hit the jackpot on one of these receivers, man. So I think I would say that as far as the interview, man, I was happy that he came out and he talked and everything like that, because we did need to hear from him. We did need to hear him, not in a formal setting. McAfee is a great show. Shout out to them. It's not the most formal setting, and he could just be himself. He can be a young. He can what hair he does have left, he can let it down a little bit, right? Have a and just speak from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And so I was happy that we got that information, man. And like I said, I just don't want us to be caught up. I don't want us to get caught up in this. Man, that's it. As a Steeler fan, I'm pleading with y'all. Please let this man go, because we'll come on here every Tuesday and talk about it every Tuesday until.
And I'm getting tired of it. It is so annoying that you get tired of being tired, and I'm at that point. And now I'm just reading a report from Adam Schefter on a page called the Sleeper NFL up here on X/Twitter.
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers is strongly entertaining the idea of coming back to play for Mike McCarthy and the Steelers, per Adam Schefter. How about you don't?
How
Don't
about
come
you,
back,
man?
please. Unless you're gonna come back and be a quarterbacks coach, I can take that, but I'm not taking no other position. Goodbye. Offensive
Yeah,
coordinator, maybe.
yeah. They gotta they're gonna have to. This is crazy. I mean, how much are we paying them? Because then I'm like, are you paying this guy $30 million?
No,
Are you kidding me?
no,
Are you kidding me? He asked for 30 and you give it to him. It's ridiculous.
right.
We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. That just doesn't make sense, man. We could reset our market and everything if we don't be stupid about it, man. It's like I said, man. I just want the saga to come to an end. I want it to be over with. I want to be done with it. I'm tired of talking about it every week. I want to talk about something happy. We can't even say our expectations. We can't even set our expectations for the Steelers this year.
My
We can't say,
expectations is to have a good season. My
yeah,
expectations is to figure out whether we have our quarterback for now. Do we have our quarterback for the future, or are we going to be drafted heading into next year's draft,
yeah,
2027? My expectations is for us to at least be competitive. I'm not looking, okay, I'm looking for a playoff berth, because as weak as the AFC is, and with all the pieces that everyone else is losing versus what you gain, I'm expecting a playoff berth. And I think with Will Howard as your quarterback, you can definitely get that. But I'm also expecting us to have an answer to how we're going to move for the foreseeable future. Is we going to have our guy, or are we going to be drafting our guy? But we should not be drafting a quarterback until we figure out what we have here, and do we need to? Yes, needs are still a factor, so is wants. I understand that. But see, the wants come after the needs, because the needs should always be the priority. You may not need a quarterback if Will Howard can be the answer, but we would never know unless we give him the shot. And this is the perfect time and the perfect place to do so with the perfect team. Let's see what he got. Roll the dice with Will Howard.
man. That's why I said I feel like we're like standing on the table and with signs out and we're preaching this, and it seems like the Steelers like, nah, we want a Band-Aid again. Just give me another Band-Aid. That's what it feels like right now. So it's one of those things where I guess as fans we gotta sit back and wait. It's like we're just gonna wait. But it's gonna be one of those situations where I'm not gonna lie, man. It's gonna get to the point to where before the season starts, I'll be checked out mentally with this team.
Yeah.
I'll just root for them, just to root for them because they are my team. But like, as far as like uh getting excited and all that, I'm ready for the. Nah, bro. It's gonna be the same status quo thing. We're gonna get the same result. We've seen it already. I feel like we keep watching the same movie every year now. No, it has a different. And the funny part is, it has a different main character, but it's the same ending, same plot.
Right.
And now we want to run it back with the same person.
And it's annoying.
Yeah, man. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm just hoping that for next week's show, that we got something else to talk about. Hopefully, that we get a conclusion to this whole ordeal, because now we're going into April, y'all. Draft month.
Yeah.
Officially begins.
Yes, we are.
I don't know what y'all doing for the draft.
I'm celebrating a birthday to begin April, so that's one of my priorities right now. I'll
There
deal
you
with
go.
this afterwards.
There you go. Happy birthday. That's right. For sure.
Thank you.
Definitely. I just want us to get this behind us, so that we can focus on what we're drafting.
Please get it over with. It's like not having no sleep, but expect to run on a shift that equals 12 hours.
That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And man, I'm excited about today's show, man. I'm happy that we got into it, man, and McCarthy spoke and everything like that. So yeah, we're actually gonna get up out of here. And I appreciate y'all, man, for real, for tuning in, all the comments. Thank you. I know for the draft, for me personally, I will be live streaming that day for sure.
I'll be in Pittsburgh.
Yep, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm in Pittsburgh too. But I'll be live streaming at the house because I don't want to be in the environment and then, miss stuff and all that. It's going to be a busy week. I already know how it's going to be up there and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be live streaming. My co-host going to be at the event. So, hey, like I said, we're ready. We locked in. And the good part is, before the draft, we have that episode. And then hopefully we'll be able to really discuss what kind of team we're really looking at being by then with our quarterback intact.
Right. That part. So
I appreciate y'all. Do you have anything that you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope, that would all be all. Instead, I will be on the Shay Max show again starting next week, so tune into that, and we'll see you next Tuesday on a Renegade Rundown. This is your host, Shay, and your host, Kenny, both signing out.
Peace.
Yeah, hey, drop.
Prime Coverage Sports Network. Real coverage, real conversation.